Hello, friends. Good evening, everyone. Jump on, guys. We have some work to do. Hello, hello. Okay, friends. So let's go ahead and get to work. How is everyone doing? Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody's doing great. Hello, Paula. How are you? Hi, Deborah. Hey, Kathy. Holly, how are you? Jump on, my friends. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get busy with this bunny. Let's go ahead and get to work. This is our design for today. Let me know if you see me here. Well, I know you hear me fine because I heard myself here a few seconds ago. Hello, Deb. How are you, Debbie? Okay, so this is what we're doing, guys. If you do me a favor, if you can please share my video, I would very much appreciate it. Thank you for being here tonight. This is gonna be a great night because we're back crafting, and this is gonna be our first project of this year. Okay, I'm excited about this. So jump on, friends. We're going to wait a few more seconds just before we get started. As always, let me remind you that this pattern is available on the link that I posted here in the description of my video. If you can also read the comments, you are going to find that link here, okay? That will take you straight to my Etsy shop, and you're going to be able to purchase this pattern if you wish, okay? Now, remember, as a reminder, the pattern does not include the eyes. Those are sold separately, okay? So you can pretty much use any eyes you want, and I'll show you maybe other couple of options for you to choose if you want to do a different eye selection. Hi, Stephanie. Hey, Charlene. Hi, Tanya. Hey, Kathy. You got yours. Oh, thank you so much, Tanya. I really appreciate you. Hi, Tracy. Okay, so should we get started? Hi, Kathy, Kieran. Welcome, everybody. So, welcome back to Wreath. My name is Luz Evans. I'm the designer here at Wreath, and this is the project we're working on tonight. Okay, this project, believe it or not, is not going to require any sewing. In a few more days, I'm going to release a pattern for a sewn version of a bunny. Okay, let me get you excited about it. Let me show it to you. So I got this little guy is out of the oven, okay? So we're also gonna be making this pretty design very soon, within the next few days, okay? Now this design does require sewing. For those of you that like sewing, that don't mind sewing, that you are very good at sewing, this project will be for you, okay? So can you use this pattern to create a no-sew version of it? Absolutely, you can. As a matter of fact, I would say probably 95% of the patterns that I use to sew any dolls can be used for no sew technique. Okay. So, but this is particularly for a sewn design. Okay. So stay tuned for this cute little guy. Okay. Will be coming to you. I'll announce it when it is ready. Okay. I need to make a few changes to some things. Okay. I think I'm going to put a base on him so we can decorate it a little bit more. But this is what we are going to be releasing within the next few days after the bunny girl, okay? So just so you know that we have more Easter dolls coming your way. A little bit of everything for everybody, depending on what you like to do with your projects, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and give you a closer view. Hello, everyone. Oh, it is super cute, isn't it, Stacy? All right. Well, let's get to work. We're gonna get to work on this cute bunny because he is gorgeous, and I think you're gonna enjoy making this design. Okay. So let me go ahead and give you more complete view of this. Okay, that's probably a little bit better, isn't it? So I want to get a full view of it so you can see what it's going to look like once it's all complete. Okay, this is what we're making on today. We're going to have a combination of different materials. We're going to do fabric. Okay, we're also going to do foam sheets. Okay, and then the embellishments like boa, some ribbon. some trim to decorate ears. I use some tulle on the sides, as you see. Again, it has some bows, okay, and some flowers. These are paper flowers. You can also use foam flowers, so you can make your own with fabric as well, okay. So we're gonna use the no-sew technique, but I'm gonna show you a few tricks on what you can do on certain parts of the bunny so you can make it stand out a little bit more, okay? I really hope that you have a good time, and let's go ahead and get to work. Hi, Erin. Hi, Terry. I'm so happy to be back too, dear. Hi, PJ. So awesome. Hi, Dawn. Okay. Hey, Teresa. Okay, friends. So let's go ahead and get to work. I'm going to put this girl to the side, and let's go ahead and get our materials here on the table. Okay. So I'm going to start with the face or the head of the bunny. Okay. Now, remember that with this technique, everything is about repetition. Okay. So I'm going to show you how we are going to wrap the head of the bunny, and we're going to follow the same process with all the pieces of the body, okay? That would include the body, the arms, and the feet or paws, okay? So I'm going to need a little bit of polyfill. Now, if you don't like using polyfill, there's other materials you can use. Maybe perhaps in the future, I can show you what other materials you can use to also do this technique. So I'm going to add, first of all, I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue just so it can help me secure my polyfill so it won't be moving around if I don't do much to it, if I don't do something to it. So this is how it's going to go. And then I'm going to start wrapping this up. Better. Okay, so I'm going to cut a piece of fabric a little bit larger because I need it to be larger so I have enough room to wrap this piece. Now, I am not picky with my fabric, guys. I'm not stingy with my fabric. I would recommend that if you are mass producing, obviously you're going to be more, self-conscious about how much material you're using. You might want to cut your fabric a little bit smaller, more towards the size of the piece, okay? But since this is just me and I'm generous with it, I just got a piece that is larger than my body part, and then I proceed to wrap it. Okay, so we're gonna use our hot glue, and we're gonna put it as close as we can to the edge of the piece, and then we're gonna start wrapping this around. So if you are familiar with me, guys, you probably know this technique already, right? You can apply this technique to just about any kind of design. Once you get very familiar with it, you can create your own stuff too. This is not a hard process, friends. It's very repetitive. Hello, Mary. How are you? So I'm very excited to be back, guys. It's been a long minute since I've been here live with you. So I'm excited about this. We have many things coming. So for those of you who remember that I also have a paid group where we do 2 projects per month. One is a sewn design and the other one is a no-sew project. So one of each, okay? So if you're interested in that, you can always send me a message, or you can look on the pinned post here on my page, Wreath. You will find all the information on that. Okay, so this is how your piece is supposed to look, guys. Pay attention to how smooth it's supposed to be. If you have wrinkles, that means you're not pulling enough on your fabric. Okay, since it's glue, you can undo it and then pull a little bit more in your fabric so you can get rid of those wrinkles. Okay, but this is the whole idea of doing this technique. Your pieces must look smooth. Okay, I'm using fleece fabric, by the way. You can also use felt. Okay, you can also use you can use like a knit kind of fabric, like a beige color. You can use any colors too for Easter. Remember, this is basically the idea that I give you, but you can definitely customize your materials and your preference of colors too. Okay, so I cut the excess of it. Eventually, what we're going to do is we're going to cover the back. Okay, but I'm not going to do it yet until we're getting ready to assemble it. Okay, and then we'll cover the back. But you're going to cut another piece that is to the size of the head in this case, and this is what the cover will look like, okay? That's gonna be covering the back of the doll. You can also use the same material as your front, okay? Or in my case, I'm just using this one because it's darker, okay? But it will not matter. You know, if you want to match it, then it's fine. Okay, so this is the same process you're gonna follow with everything else, guys, okay? Remember, in my case, for sake of time, I already got this done. So I have the body. It has a back cover, okay? Then I have both feet. They're covered on the back as well, okay? And I have both arms or hands, okay? Same process, I'm gonna cover them up, okay? So that's a repetition on that. Now let's go ahead and get to work on this ear. And then we'll start working on assembling this. So this ear, I already have one made, okay? So you're gonna cut, I put on your pattern that you're gonna need a double, okay? So front and back, this is both fabric, okay? Fleece fabric I'm using. So I traced it, I cut it, and I'm gonna glue it because remember, this is a no-sew project. Now, you can also you can sew it. If you sew, you can sew these too, okay? And then there's gonna be a piece that is gonna be an overlay that is gonna go like that. And we're gonna end up with something like this. For this, we are gonna need a piece of wire, okay, that is gonna be as long as the ear and a little extra. This might be too long, but we're gonna cut it once we attach it to the bunny, okay? But what I'm gonna do is, if you like the mark of your trace to decorate the ear, you can leave it as that. But in my case, because I traced it on the wrong side of on the back side of the fabric, I'm just gonna turn it around so I can get the pretty side of the fabric. And I'm gonna glue this, okay? With my hot glue gun, I'm going to start applying the glue to the very edge of the piece, the closest I can to the edge of the piece. And make sure that you do apply enough glue. I mean, you don't want to be very generous with your glue, but enough as to where you have a solid hold on this, okay? So I did that side, now I'm going to do this other side. Oops, dropped something. Okay. That's going to go like that. If your glue squeezes out of the piece, don't worry, let it dry, and you can come back with your scissors and you can cut it off or trim it off with your scissors, okay? No big deal. Okay, so assuming that we're gonna give this enough time to cool, this is how our ear is gonna go that way. So this is the other side, okay? I want it to be going like that. Then we have an overlay that is gonna go this way, okay? Now on here, what I'm gonna do, guys, let me see, I wanna make sure that I have the right size here. No, it's the other side. Play with your placement of your ear, see which side looks better. It's gonna be, I normally like the opposite, so if this goes this way, the other will gonna go that way. So I'm gonna now glue this overlay there, okay? So I'm going to add my hot glue here to this section. And this is gonna go like so. Now on this section here, you may not be able to see, but I can see some of that fabric on the back, okay? So what I'm gonna do is with my scissors, I'm gonna trim it because I wanna have a clean cut. I want these to be aligned. I want these pieces to be even. Okay. This little piece here. All right. And so now they are over here. Little section here. I just want it to look cleaner. Okay, so now they look the way I want them. Okay, and now here, I'm gonna use a trim. I'm gonna take this trim. This is from Hobby Lobby. Thank you, Scarlett. Okay, so this is from Hobby Lobby, guys, and I'm going to start gluing this around this ear like so. Okay, so the same with my, I'm gonna cut that piece there. With my glue gun, I'm gonna do the closest I can to the edge of that earpiece, and I'm gonna start gluing this. Stick it like that. Like so. You can also use other types of trims, or if you don't want to use this kind of trim, you can also use fur. But if you do fur, you probably have to glue it first to the back of this, because if you glue it on top, it's going to cover a lot of your ear. So it would be easier in the case of fur. You would get a complete view of the pink color if you glue the fur to the back of the piece instead of putting it in the front like I am doing with this trim. Okay, so this is what it's gonna look like, and I'm gonna trim it off here. And it's gonna look like that. Okay, now I want some wire to these ears, okay? And I'm just gonna add one piece. I'm not gonna double it all the way around it. I'll just need it to stand out. So I have this piece right here, and I'm gonna do a fold. I'm gonna fold it or bend it. It's gonna look like that, okay? And this is gonna go all the way to the tip of the ear. All the way to the tip, okay? So it's right there. And here, so it's not gonna be moving around, okay? I'm gonna squeeze a little bit of hot glue inside the ear. And so the fabric can glue to that wire and the wire won't be moving around, okay? Okay, and so now we have both ears for this bunny, okay? That's all we're gonna do. If you want, you can add color to it around this, the outline of the ear, that's fine, but I don't think it's necessary, okay? All right, so that's what we're gonna do with the ears. Now let's go ahead and talk about the carrot for a minute. So on the carrot, I give you on your pattern that you are going to cut one double. But what you can also do with this pattern is you can fold the fabric and align one of the signs to the folded section, trace it and cut it. So that way you don't have to cut both sides and then glue both sides. You're gonna have to just glue one side, okay? Like this is what I did. So I took the pattern, I folded the fabric first, I aligned one of the sides of the pattern to the fold of the fabric. I traced it and then I cut it, okay? So this is what it's gonna look like. I would end up with one piece that if I fold, okay, it's gonna be my carrot. Now I'm gonna glue it again. And then I'm gonna turn it inside out. So I'm gonna add my hot glue. Again, I'm gonna do it the closest I can to the edge of the piece. And I'm gonna give this time to cool because I'm gonna turn it inside out. This is fabric, it's red fleece. You can also use felt, or you can even use a cotton fabric, like a nice stripe, maybe polka dot or something. And you can also sew it. If you don't mind sewing it, you will run it through your machine on this side, so it could be sewn, okay? Easy peasy. All right, this one I'm gonna give it a few seconds so it can dry, okay? So it can cool, and then we'll come back and turn it inside out. So I'm gonna put it to this side. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about detailing these pieces. You can either use, guys, a brown marker or yellow marker or some colors. Okay, like in this case, I have this oil pastel, okay, colors here. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just go around each piece. Now, I don't have to do this, guys, but I like doing it. I think that adding a little bit of color, it kind of gives your pieces a little bit of something, more personality. And I'm not going to be smudging or diffusing this color, okay? I'm just gonna let it be like so. So I'm gonna repeat this with all the pieces. You can also do it with markers if you wish, okay? No problem. And if you can also see, I mean, this is not like extremely wide. It's an outline that you can definitely see, but it's not very overwhelming on the pieces, okay? This just gives you a little bit of definition. Oh, thank you, Terry. I'm glad you made it, huh? So if you can help me share, guys. Now remember, this pattern is available in my Etsy shop. You can see the link of this in the description of this video. Now this is the head. I'm not gonna worry much about the bottom because that's gonna be covered. But I do want to do a little bit on the sides. Okay, so you see that? And then this one too, because this one is noticeable too. So what do you think? Are you liking it? Give me some hearts if you like what you're seeing. It's super cute. Little by little, very soon it's gonna start taking shape, okay? You're gonna see it come to life here shortly. All right, so now we have all our pieces highlighted, okay? Now let's talk a little bit about these other pieces, which is the overlay for the face, that face, and the overlay for the tummy, okay, that. So these right here, guys, you can either use the same color that you use for whatever you decide to highlight your pieces here. In my case, I'm gonna try to see if I can get a kind of like a marker instead. And I recently bought some pins, but I gotta say that I'm not extremely happy with them. So I'm gonna use what I have, okay? So I'm gonna use a little bit of one of the sides, the finer side of my pen, and all around this piece, okay? On all the edges of this piece. I'm going to slowly, see, I'm gonna start doing highlights. You see that? It's brown color, like a brownish color, but it's not too dark. So I'm gonna do this all around the piece. Now, if you don't want to do this section, guys, or this step, I should call it, you definitely don't have to, okay? But you know, I just like doing it. I think it helps with the overall design of this. Now, this is foam sheets, guys. Now, let me tell you, if you want to do it, you can also do it with felt. But if you do it with felt, try to choose a felt that is thicker. Um, Hobby Lobby has some sheets of felt that are thick. That thicker option is better than regular texture of felt, okay? It's just gonna look more like more solid, I think. Okay, and then the last one will be here. You can also use like a yellow color on here, you guys. And so this is what it's gonna look like, okay? It's not dramatic, but you will definitely be able to notice it. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with this belly here. Same thing with the belly. Your markers don't need to be expensive either. You can buy some from Dollar Tree. All right. So that's what the bell is gonna look like, okay? And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add a little bit of color to these pieces, and we're gonna do it with some blush. So I'm gonna get my blush, and I'm gonna add some here in the area of the cheeks. Okay. With a soft brush. Every time I go to the store, I forget to look for another brush. Okay, so this section here. See how pretty it looks? Okay, so now we have added some color to that. We're gonna put it to the side, and I'm gonna take this belly and I'm gonna add some of it to the center. Okay, like so. So that way he's not gonna look so pale, right? We wanna have a little bit of color so he doesn't look kind of ghosty. Okay. All right. Okay, so now we have the addition of color on both pieces. Now let's start playing with this. So I'm going to take the body and I'm gonna attach it to that head first, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I wanna make sure that at least one finger, okay, on this is gonna go over the head, is gonna sit on that neck like so, all right? So now don't bring it too low, okay? Don't bring it like that either. Even though you could do this, but it's best if you give it some support with this piece, okay? So at least one finger, add a little bit of hot glue there, and bring this there. Just barely past that. There. Make sure that that is straight, that it looks straight, okay? And you're gonna give it preferably a few seconds so it can cool. What kind of marker is that? Tonya, these are acrylic paint pens. This is these are from Amazon. I bought them online, but I'm not sure that I like them. Okay, I use them because I have them, but I think I would like something different. So I don't recommend them. All right. So now there you go. So that's the head. Now, this is why, guys, we're gonna use wire because look, remember these pieces don't have a back, okay, to give it support. So we gotta give that support somehow, and that's where the wire comes in. This is what it's gonna look like from the back, okay? So I'm gonna cut a piece of wire, gonna bring a piece of wire, and this wire is when it's gonna give it the support we need. Okay, it's sturdy wire. It's gotta be strong wire. Okay, see here, if you see it, because this sits in front of this piece, it's not aligned, right? So we have this lip here. You see that? So we have this lip. Okay, So that's important because we're gonna have to take that into consideration when we're adding our our wire. If we don't do a fold or a bend there, this is what it's gonna look. This is floating. Okay, we don't want it to float. We want a nice solid fit on here. So we're gonna do a bend here. Okay, and this is how we're gonna do it right there, right at the edge. Okay, so I'm gonna keep my finger there. I'm gonna take my pliers. Okay, and I'm gonna fold this that way. One, I'm gonna bring it forward, and then the other one is gonna go to the back. Okay, like so. So I'm gonna come up with something like this. Okay, so one towards you, and then the other one front off of you. Okay, towards the front, and you're gonna end up with something like that, like a step, kind of, right? Like a step. And this is what is gonna go down. See now the fit here? It's gonna go down and then it's gonna go straight. Now it's not floating, okay? Because if we leave it just floating, you're not gonna have a good fit on there and it's not gonna look fun. I mean, it's not gonna be solid and it's gonna look weird when you're trying to cover the back, okay? So you're gonna have a floating section with fabric there. So that's why we need this fold here. It needs to fit there perfectly, okay? And so now we're gonna apply hot glue to here, and you're gonna need a piece of fabric, okay? Because the fabric that we're gonna add to that is what is gonna give us the stability for this, okay? So make sure that you have your nice fit there. And I'm gonna add our hot glue on top of it. And add your strip of fabric there. Okay, so I'm gonna hold it here for a little bit before I let go of it. Annie, ¿cómo estás? Okay, so here, ¿cómo está tu mami? Ya me hace falta echarme una vueltecita por allá. Oigan, ya hasta se me olvidaron sus caras. Okay? I'm gonna do, here I can cut the excess or I can cover it. Okay, either way. And after you do this, guys, you wanna give it a few seconds so it can be cool and it's good to go. Okay. So I normally, when I do this, I put it to the side so I don't bother it and it can finish what it's supposed to do. Okay. So once that happens, guys, this is what your piece is gonna look like. It's not gonna be moving anymore. Okay. It's not gonna move anymore. All right. So it's gonna be straight and it's gonna be solid. It's not gonna be moving around. It's not gonna be bouncing around. Okay. So that's what we want. That wire is what is gonna give it the stability we need on it. All right. Oh, ay, yo también, Ani, ya hace falta. A ver si un día de estos me escapo. Me escapo para echarnos una cotorreada, echarnos el chal. Okay. All right. So now that we have attached that, now we can start playing with this. Okay. So I'm gonna first of all gonna have to glue this. Okay. And this face, guys, needs to be around. If you look at this section, guys, you see where it starts curving, right? This face piece must sit right on it like that. Okay. Like right after where the little curve ends. Where the little cheeks start going down, that's where you're gonna match this section of the cheeks to. Okay. Now here, it's supposed to be aligned with it too. But if for some reason you need to bring this a little bit lower, that's fine. This part up here is gonna be covered with some hair anyway. So a lot of that is not gonna be visible, okay? So, but it's important that you do take the time to be straight on your piece in the front because this piece is very important, okay? This is like the soul of your creation. So it's super important. So once you play around with it, see how it's looking. If you need to go higher or you need to lower, go lower or whatever. Just pay attention and make sure you look at it from the front too. Make sure that you have a good fit. One thing also that to pay attention, you need to pay attention to is your eyes, okay? Before you commit to gluing things, bring your set of eyes and set it on here and see if it looks good to you, okay? To me, it's looking great. Now, I told you that I was gonna show you a couple of other options for eyes, guys. So I have other options of eyes that you want. This is only one option. Remember that I have plenty of templates on my page, in my store. So you can use these other eyes. And look at how pretty those look too. Now remember, we're gonna have a nose here, okay? We're gonna have a nose, we're gonna have a mouthpiece with a tongue and all that stuff. So bring your nose if you wanna have a nicer look of what those eyes are gonna look like. That is a great option too. I love these. I use these a lot. And then if you wanna try something different, I have these other ones that are a little bit bigger and they're more roundish. But look at how pretty this will look too. So see, now you have three different looks depending on what you're going for, okay? You have options. And I have many other options, okay? I grabbed these because I had them handy. But this is so you can have a good idea of what you are having. Stacy, I don't remember, honey, but I put it on your supply list. Guys, your pattern comes with a supply list. And I give you the gauges that you can use for these designs, okay? Just make sure that you don't buy something that is too thin. If you buy your wire too thin, might not be solid enough for these pieces, okay? So you gotta pay attention to that. Your supply list gives you that, guys, that info. All right. So how are we doing? Are we doing here good? Which one do you like best? All of them are pretty, right? So that is very lovely too. I mean, all three are great options. Okay, so I'm gonna stick with the one I did, okay? Just so we can generate the same thing. All right. So now this is what I'm glad with that placement of that overlay for that face, guys. I'm gonna start applying my glue. It looks good. I already tried eyes. I think they fit perfectly. So I'm gonna start gluing things, okay? So I'm gonna put my hand on there and I'm gonna start with the top. Now you don't have to, guys, add a whole lot of glue, friends, okay? Don't overdo your glue, okay? Apply it little by little. I know this is the phase or the stage where things start coming to life, you guys. Things will start coming to life now. Okay, so now I'm gonna bring this up and I'm gonna start applying a little bit of glue on the sides, and I'm gonna start applying some here. Now notice how I'm not going on the edges, guys. Why? Because it's possible that some of the edges are gonna be seen. Okay, and I don't want that glue to be visible on the back. Okay. So slowly and lightly, I'm going to apply hot glue and I'm going to put my hands over it. Yes, Sharon, I go all the way to 18 too, depending on what I'm doing. But yes, those are the ones I use the most. All right, so here we are, guys. So look at how pretty. So now I'm going to do the body, okay, since I'm already gluing overlays. I'm going to do now the body, okay? So look at how beautiful. Isn't this awesome, you guys? This is just beautiful. I love making these. This is so important, guys. This is why it's important that you know how to use your materials and how they work and all that great stuff. All right, so now I'm done with that. I'm gonna apply my eyes, okay? I'm gonna apply this ice. I'm gonna glue them. So I glued fake eyelashes to the back of the eye, okay? The closest you can to the edge of the piece, put a little bit of hot glue and then lay the piece of the fake eyelashes on top of it, okay? It's super simple, super easy. Okay, so I'm gonna do it one by one, obviously. Hold it with my fingers. And go right on top of it. And now I'm gonna do the next one. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Terry. They're super cute, guys. I have so many more things coming, you guys. And I'm getting ready to also for my group. We're getting ready to release a new pattern on the 20th. So it's gonna be also a lovely design. Super cute too. Yeah, right there. Okay. So now that I have both eyes on, I'm gonna add, I like doing this step. All of you are familiar with this step right here too. So I'm gonna add, because you know, this is brown and the eyes look pretty, but I think I can make them stand out a little bit more. So I use this. This is regular makeup too, guys. This is, what is that? This is, what is that called, guys? The one, contouring. This is contouring, but in powder. To contour your face, but powder form. It's the one that I bought because it's got different tones of browns. So I don't, these are not expensive, guys. I don't obviously use like name brands on this. These are things that I buy from TJ Maxx or Burlington or Ross or Marshalls, those places. But see how it does make it look darker, guys? See the difference between that and this? So that's why I do it. I think it helps it. It sets it off. Doesn't it, you guys? What do you think? Isn't it lovely? It's super cute. Okay, so we're gonna now work on the back. Let's talk about ears, and then we'll close it. We'll cover the back, and then we'll finish off the front. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Now let's talk about ears. So ears, you're gonna decide where you want those ears to go to, friends. If you want them closed, if you want to separate, if you want them to the side, how you want them. See right there, look good. Maybe this one a little bit closer. So right there, they look fine, huh? What do you say? What do you think? All right, I like them there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add glue here. I'm gonna glue them, and then that extra wire, guys, that extra wire is gonna have to, that extra wire is gonna have to be secured, just like how we did with the head and the body, right? So I'm gonna apply a little bit of pressure. It does, Terry, huh? All right. See, and it's not gonna take like um, a lot of glue either, guys. Okay. I think it looks great. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and turn this around. Now see this wire, you can leave it like that or you can cut it a little bit, does not really matter. The back will be covered anyway. Okay, so I'm going to add, remember, pieces of fabric. That's what gives us the stability we need. Go here. Turn it around. Okay. And then here we can go ahead and bend those, and we will in just a minute. I'm going to give it just a few seconds so this can solidify a little bit more. Okay, so in the meantime, let's go ahead and cover the back. Okay, let's cover this back. Now that we have placed that, now we can cover the back. So I'm gonna use, I think I'm gonna do the face first or the head first. Okay. So I'm gonna do sections first of it. Okay. I'm gonna cut it a little bit on this side so it can fit that lip, remember? In this section, I'm gonna cut it like that. Okay, that's what it's gonna look like. And then the back, like so. Let me see if I can make this one better. No, the other side is better. Okay, so I'm now gonna do this. Isn't it clear, you guys? What do you think? It's easy, right? It's just once you know this technique, guys, the more you do it, the easier it will become every time. The more you work with your materials, you're gonna get more used to them. You're gonna see exactly what they do, how they behave, etc., etc. You're gonna be a lot more confident on your projects. Okay. Now remember this part, I normally don't like seeing, this fabric on the front, so I normally trim it off. Okay. Okay, and that's our bunny. Look at how pretty. All right, so then we are ready for the little section of the nose, guys. So the nose, guys, is gonna be going there. Okay, that's how it's gonna go. But what I wanted to tell you is there's really nothing wrong with doing it that way, right? You can totally do that. That's no problem at all. Okay. But if you want to make it look a tiny little bit different, okay, you can warm those up. Okay, you can heat them up. And what they're gonna do, they're gonna bubble up a little bit. So let me show you. So I'm gonna use my iron. You can use a small iron. You can use also a hair iron. So I'm gonna turn this on. I'm gonna wait for it to get hot a little bit. and I'm gonna show you the difference, okay? So I normally like applying heat, okay? Now, it's totally optional. You don't necessarily have to. Okay, hold on, something's up. It's not plugged in. Oh, yes, it is. But it's not. It is, but it's not. It's not all the way. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait for it to come on. So I was telling you that this is like completely optional, guys. You don't necessarily have to, okay? You don't necessarily have to do this. But I like it because to me, it does make a difference, okay? Um, so if you see, especially like on these pieces that are gonna be the feet, okay? So if we put that there, it's gonna look pretty no matter what, okay? But it looks better if we warm them up, okay? We're just gonna do 2 toes on each one instead of 3. So I'm gonna see if it's already hot. Okay, I think it is. So notice what's gonna happen. Okay, this is the after, the before, right? This is the before. But you see how it's different? So look at the difference of these two. You see the difference? How it looks? These look like dimensional, like bubbled. These are flat. Okay. So, but let me let me show you how we get to that. Okay, so it's hot now. Okay. So I'm gonna do that one. I'm gonna start with one to show you. I'm gonna let it get hot and it's gonna bubble up a little bit. I'm not sure if you're seeing it bubble up. Okay, so now it's bubbled up. Okay, look at what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna sit it on the surface, on the flat surface. So that way all the edges of the piece touches, they're actually touching the surface, okay? So look at what is gonna happen now. So see the difference? They even shrink a little bit in size. But see the difference, how that looks dimensional? This one doesn't. It's just flat, right? It's flat. This one is bubbled, okay? So it makes it look dimensional. So I'm gonna do it now with the little pieces. I'm gonna do both at the same time. So they're gonna bubble up a little bit. I'm gonna put them on the table. And that's gonna be both for them, okay? So that's one. Then I'm gonna do the other two somewhere that I have somewhere. So what do you think? And that can be true for anything else with foam. I think there's going to be some classes that I'm going to be launching on how to work with foam, guys, that you can do um, the foam dolls. I have released, a few years ago, I released some tutorials on how to make foam um, dolls. And I kind of got away from it for a minute because I started working on these designs and so forth. But I think it's time for us to start working again on those. Now that's a lot of work of those pieces, you guys. It's unique work. So it takes a little bit of time because it's a process. In order for this one, I need more heat. In order for you to modify these pieces, you're gonna apply heat. Otherwise, nothing is gonna happen to it. They're just gonna stay flat. And in this case, we don't want them flat. Okay, so now the nose, right? The nose is flat. See, flat, completely flat. Now let's work on this. Oops, I have a little bit of water on my arm. There you go. It's bubbled. And I put it on my table. Okay, so look at now. Can you see the difference? All right, so I'm done with that. That's all I'm gonna do. I think that we did all of the pieces. So now we can glue them. Okay, let's start gluing with the feet. Start gluing the feet. And you can use hot glue to glue them, guys, or you can use super glue. You don't necessarily have to use hot glue, okay? You can use super glue too. But it's important that when you, before they school, you put them on the table so they can have that even fit around the piece, because otherwise you're going to have a hard time gluing them, right? So that's one. See how they look? They're not completely flat. You see the edges, how they're rounded. You could do that too with the belly. And when you touch them, they're cushiony, okay? Because they're bubbled up. They're definitely cushiony. They're not flat. All right. So that's a nice tip for you. Nice tip. Okay. So we're going to do that. Then the nose will be there. Now I had a piece for a mustache, and what did I do with it? Did I lose it? I probably lost it. Well, luckily I still have some here left. Okay, so for the whiskers, you guys, you cut a piece of thread. I use upholstery thread because it's thicker. Okay, you can also use pipe cleaners. You can also use crocheting thread, but I like this thread because it's thin enough, but it's firm at the same time, and it doesn't go completely flat. So I get two to three strings of it. I iron it too so it can be straight, okay? Because if it's not, when you get it off, this spool is gonna be curly. We don't want it curly, we want it straight, or I like them straight. So I cut two pieces. You can cut two or three pieces or strings or just one and to fold it, okay? And I'm gonna make a knot in the center. This is just so it's easier for me to handle, okay? Instead of dealing with individual pieces. So I like to make a um, a knot in the center, just so that way I can grab it from there. All right, but here, so we're gonna have a mouth piece. These were not bubbling, okay? This will stay flat. So that's gonna go there. This is gonna be the mouth foundation. That's gonna be the tongue. And then the nose will go on top of this, like so, okay? So you can also, I put it this right, barely on there, okay? So this is what it's gonna look like. So I'm gonna glue the mouthpiece first because that's gonna serve me as a guide for the nose, okay? So I wanna make sure that it's straight. Put your bunny straight. Make sure that this mouth is straight, which I think it is, isn't it? Am I looking at it right? Diane, I put the highest, but if it gets way, way, way too hot, then just lower the temperature. But you definitely want it hot. You don't want it warm, okay? It needs to be hot enough because if it's just warm, it's not gonna do anything to your piece, okay? So you need to make sure that the setting is gonna be high. And then from there, if it's way too hot, then you know that you need to lower it a little bit. But don't put it just on warm because it's not going to do nothing for your phone, okay? All right. So now the little mouth piece or tongue piece. Oh, look at that, how beautiful that is, you guys. I went crooked a little bit, didn't I? It's gonna have to be because I already glued it. Okay, so now we're gonna do the glue for our nose, okay? This one is better because this is smaller. And then this is gonna go here, guys. That's what my mustache is gonna go. Okay, like so. Like that. Okay, and then this If they're too long, well then now is the time to cut them, right? It depends on how long you want it. You can cut it shorter or leave them longer or whatever you want. Okay, and I go like so. This sometimes they bend like that. See, all I have to do is iron it again so it can go straight again. Okay, but this is what it looks like. Isn't that just adorable, guys? It's just darling, isn't it? Now I do want some eyebrows for this, guys. So let me do a couple of eyebrows here. So this brown is not way too dark. Okay. Something like that. Okay. Okay, and so now let's do the carrot before we assemble the body, okay? So now this should be finally cool, right? So I'm gonna turn this inside out. Like this. Okay. This I'm gonna push it a little bit with a stick. Something a little bit thinner, even though I won't get like a very pointy tip because it's glued, okay? But this is good enough. All right. So now I'm gonna stuff it, okay? We're gonna stuff this. I turned it inside out, okay? This is the part that I glued, okay? And I'm gonna stuff it. We want light stuffing, okay? Because remember, we just glued it and we don't want it to come open. So we're gonna go light on this. So we're gonna go light on our stuffing and our filler, okay? I think that is as much as I'm gonna do, okay? Okay, this part right here, guys, it's about maybe half a finger. I'm gonna leave without polyfill because I'm gonna bring it together like this, okay? And I'm gonna bring some twine, piece of twine or a piece of ribbon or something. We're gonna tie it up, okay? So I'm gonna do some twine. It's gonna go like that. So with this, so that would be the back, right? And here, I'm gonna tie it up on what the front would be. Let me do one there. I need it longer. Okay, so I'm gonna tie it up. Okay, like this. Here, leave it loose a little bit because we're gonna insert some greenery there. Just enough for some greenery to go in, a stick of some greenery to go in here. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure that I have enough room. Okay, I do. So now I'm gonna make a bow here with this twine, okay? I'm gonna make a bow and then I can do another one on top of this if I want, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna bring now some greenery. This is some greenery that I have been laying around. Now, if I put the whole thing, it might be a little bit too much. Okay, it might be a little bit too much greenery. So I'm gonna cut a few leaves. Now you can also do some felt here, guys. So you would cut a strip of felt and cut make some cuts like for example, let me show you. Let me do it with this and see if it makes any sense to you. You want it thicker, okay? I mean wider, okay? Give enough size for this to work. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut little pieces like that, not all the way. I mean, just close to the edge, okay? You want to do it in probably green felt, but you're gonna do a nice strip, okay? And they're gonna be cut like that, little pieces like that. And then you're gonna roll it up. And you need this to be longer, right? So they can look like greenery. And then you're gonna glue it, assuming that you would have something something longer, right? Because this is obviously short. But you would have you after you rolled it up and you finished it, you would glue that to here, okay? And then you're gonna have the green pieces of felt coming out of this, okay? So that's another idea if you don't want to buy the greenery, but the greenery is the easiest, and I think it gives a nice effect too. So I'm gonna cut some of these leaves because they're too much. They're too much for what I'm needing. Probably maybe get rid of maybe one. Yeah, this right here, it's enough. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this. See, I have a stem here, so I'm gonna stick it in there. Okay, and this is what it's gonna look like. This is gonna be my carrot. So I'm gonna add a little bit of hot glue here. I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit of hot glue in here so it can hold it. Okay, it's gonna be glued to that greenery, to that fabric, and that's what it's gonna look like. So that's gonna be my carrot. All right, simple enough, easy enough right here. If I wanted to do another small bow for it, I'm gonna do some green. I could do another simple bow to go on top of that one. Something like this, nothing complicated, nothing fancy, simple. And I will glue that on top of this one that I already have. And you can glue a button, a flower, a rhinestone, anything like that. So I'm gonna do a rhinestone here. White rhinestone. That will give it a little bit of something, a tag, if you have like a mini tag of some sort. Okay, and this is our carrot. Super easy, huh? Very simple but easy. All right, so then let's go ahead and do the body, friends. So we know that this arm is gonna go here. This carrot is gonna go around there, and then I'm gonna glue the other arm like that, like it's holding, right? And this one, I'm gonna have to get it off the face a little bit more, okay? Like so. So I'm gonna glue this arm first. So I'm gonna come here. And from the neck towards the front, okay? Then this carrot, I'm gonna glue the carrot first. I want it out of the face. I don't want to cover the face like that. So bring it down a little bit, like so, okay? So here, right where I have it, I'm gonna do a strip of hot glue, okay? And I'm gonna bring this there. So that's how it's gonna go. I don't want it to be covering too much of that body, of that face, okay? And then this arm is gonna go like that, like it's holding also the carrot, right? Maybe a little bit higher, like so. Oh yeah, yeah. This one, I actually I brought it closer too, so we can bring it like that. This is what it's gonna look like. Okay. So on the side, I'm gonna add glue here and here. So that's gonna be gluing to the carrot, and that's gonna be gluing to the body. So you bring it to the side. That's where it's gonna be glued, okay, to the body, and then this to the carrot, and bring it like that. And then the feet are gonna go like this. Okay. So to the side, not all the way, to the side, because this is what is going to be glued to it. And we prefer want them to go around the belly, okay, like so. Like that, okay? So only on this section of on the foot of the paw. I'm gonna go there, like so, and the other one there. This section only. What do you think? You liking it? Super cute, huh? Okay, so those are our feet. Okay, so now let's do the top. I am gonna put the same that I did with the other bunny. So I did double bow. This is tulle material. Okay, this is some fabric that I did with this. So let's go ahead and repeat the process. So I did this maybe 3 or 4 times. In 3, I did 3 times. Then in half, and in the center, I did a pipe cleaner. Make sure that both sides are about equal in length, which they are. If not, I cut them if they're a little bit bigger than the other one. I'll test it here in a minute. Okay, so it's a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna cut it the same size. Okay, that and this one. Okay, so now both are the same size. Okay, this one. Okay, so now both of these are the same size. Okay, all right, and I'm gonna make a bow just like this. Okay. We're almost done, friends. We are almost done. So let me get my where is my let me look for my ribbon right here. Okay, so another quick bow with 4 loops. Let me find out if I'm doing this the same size. See this? Yep, it's the same size. Okay, good eye. Okay. So I'm gonna tie this up again with a pipe cleaner. Okay. All right. These tails, I may cut them a little bit more. Okay, and now I'm ready to do this, but I need the hair, so I'm gonna bring my boa, just a small piece. I'm not gonna do a whole lot of it. Okay, I'm just gonna cut a small piece, just this top part, this section. Okay, now I can also go like the whole, if you wanted the whole front, guys, like so. You can also do that. Okay, or you can go around it, you can go around the ears. Okay, from the front to the back, but the back is not visible, so why wasting that, right? But you can definitely just do this section here from one ear to another, which is what I did on the other one. Okay, so from one ear to the other, I'm just gonna cut this, and I'm going to glue it right here in this section. And this is gonna go there, like so. It looks fine, isn't it? You guys, looks pretty. Looks more than fine. I mean, they really look adorable, you guys. You cannot not smile when you're making these cuties. They definitely bring a smile to your face. Okay, So now the bow, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm basically gonna glue this. So one on each side. There. And if you want, you can rearrange the ears too. Remember, they're wired, so you can bend them a little bit. You can bend them a little bit. Okay. So that's another beauty of wire, guys, that you can actually move them around. You can make them do whatever you want them to do. Okay. So bow. A bow on top of the bow, like so. Okay. I'm gonna put them like that because when they go down, you don't see them very much. So I'm gonna put them facing up and going up. So you make them more noticeable, I think. So see right there. And now I'm gonna bring a couple of flowers, okay? These are paper flowers. You can also get foam flowers. You can get like stickers, like foam, or you can do buttons, or you can do rhinestones, or you can do any kind of stuff. So that's gonna be one of the flowers there. See that? And then the other one. That's the other flower. So this is what it's looking like. Okay. And believe it or not, guys, this is all there is to it. Now, if you want to detail these a little bit more, you can bring some more markers. And you can detail here the hands a little bit more, like so, like that. You can do the same thing on here, like so. Okay. We can also do paint, guys. We can do paint. So I normally like to, if I add paint, it's normally white acrylic paint. That's normally what I do. I rarely do another color of paint for highlighting. I mean, I obviously do the darker ones, but that's just afterwards. I mean, to give it depth, but to do highlights is normally white. What I do. That's what I do normally. White. So I'm gonna start with the nose. Oops. Butter fingers. Okay. I'm gonna start with that. I'm gonna start with these. And these are don't even need to be like very big highlights, you guys. They don't need to be like extremely noticeable or anything like that. See? Here on the carrot, maybe like that, a few lines here and there. Like so. Maybe there. Maybe on the belly. Isn't it cute? You can do some here if you like. See, like that? I'm not gonna do on the other ones because they're not visible because of the greenery, but you can see definitely those, right? But see how pretty? Okay. And so that, guys, that completes the tutorial, my friends. Now on the other one, I did a fold on the ears, guys. You could fold these. Okay, all you would have to do is put your hand there, grab the tip of that ear, okay, and hold it a little bit, bend it a little bit, like that, like so. See? So that's one. Then you can do the other one. Put your hand and then bring that one like that forward, okay? And so now you have one. Or you can do one and or the other. I mean, you play around with them. But here it is, friends. So now that concludes your tutorial. Now, if you didn't want to do the bows on top, you don't have to. If you would rather give it a nice bow on the front here on the chest, that's perfect too. Or you can do both. Does not matter. So either way is fine, okay? So what do you think? You ready to see it? Look at how pretty this bunny is. Now tell me if you would not like to have this sitting on your table on some kind of stand. You can also add a hanger and hang it on your door. Okay. You can also add this to a wreath. You can add it to a swag. There's many things that you can do with this. Okay. So remember, if you like this project, the pattern is available in my Etsy shop. You see a link to this pattern in the description of this video. In the comment section, you're going to see a link there. Go ahead and get it, okay? So, but this is our project for today. I think it turned out gorgeous, right? It's super cute. And so next week or this week, maybe this week, I will release the other tutorial for the female bunny, okay? I think that that's going to be another fun project. And then we're going to release the sewn version of a bunny, okay? So stay tuned. Make sure you follow the page, like it if you can too, and turn on the notifications so you know when I post things and when I go live, okay? So thank you so much. The measurements, Kathy, this is 19 inches, 20 inches tall, 20 by 9 wide. It's 20 inches tall by 9 wide. Okay, that's what the measurements are. So there you have it, friends. So you have a wonderful evening. Let me know if you have any questions before I let you go. How do you like it? Do you give me hearts? Do you like it or likes? Let me know what you think about this cutie. This bunny. I really hope that you give it a try, that you get to work on this. This is fun to make. It's not hard to make. And look at the results. It's just fabulous. It's adorable. You're welcome, Janice. You're very welcome, dear. Okay, friends. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. It was great to be back with you guys crafting again. Thank you so very much. If you can share with your family and friends, that would be awesome. And stay tuned for the next class, okay? Thank you. Have a wonderful night, okay? Enjoy the video and get to work. Bye-bye. Good night. See you later. See you later.